Morning, everybody. Good morning. I watched a video this morning about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got an opinion on it. And I know that my opinion, everybody not gonna feel it, but I don't give a shit. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we keep talking about, I keep hearing the question, how do we change the momentum of bad interactions between black males and police officers? And I think one of them is knowing what battle to fight, man. We don't have to fight every battle that we encounter with the police. The police have a job and they just doing it for the most part. And I'm not saying, allow police officers to disrespect you or, speak to you out of line. But, the police officer has authority to serve and protect. Period, point blank. And in this video that I saw, a black male was working on his car. Looked like he was putting in some speakers in his car or something. Police officer walks up and explains that he's contracted to the apartment complex to just, protect the complex. So I think he asked the young man, did he live in the complex? And the black male was like, yeah. So he was like, okay, can you tell me what unit you live in? Just so I know you live here. And the black guy was like, nah, I'm not telling you where I live at. I don't know you. I don't know if you're a real cop. And the police officer, clearly has a badge here. And then his vest says police. And so him and the police officer kind of go back and forth. He wants to know the police officer's name. He wanted him to identify himself, which is fine. And then a police officer eventually identified himself. And I'm not saying that the police officer was right by any means. I'm not saying that he was right, and I'm not saying that he was wrong. I'm just saying in terms of the overall situation, why do most of us feel like we got to be combative with the police officer off the break? Especially if the police officer is not being aggressive and if the police officer is not, being disrespectful or whatever. For the most part, towards the beginning of the video, when he walked up on him, the officer was not aggressive. He was not being combative. He seemed like he was on some chill shit. He's when he said he was contracting for the apartment complex, he seemed like he was just like, man, what's up? What's going on? You live out here? Oh, all right, bet. Boom. He would have been on his way after he would have told him what unit he lived in. But the black dude, I'm not telling you where I live. I don't know you. How do I know you a real police officer? This, that, and the third. And I do feel like if the person felt like, the police officer didn't, show ID or didn't, say his name or whatever the case may be, I felt like the police officer could have showed him an ID or, whatever, just to keep the situation civil. But that didn't happen. So when the police officer asked the black man for his ID, he said he ain't have it, gave him a hard time. The police officer was like, fuck it, I'm gonna call backup. So he called backup, and the backup that he called, he let it be known, that they were police officers, because the black dude was still like, I don't know if you're a police officer, you're a security guard, I don't know who you are, I don't know what's going on. And mind you, again, the police officer's vest clearly has police on it, clearly, and his badge is on, right? So when the other two police officers walk up, the police officer say, man, are we all police officers out here? He was like, yeah, last I know. And so when the other police officer walked up, the black guy, was like, oh, this what y'all doing, whatever. So another police officer was like, let me see your ID. And so the black guy was like, let me see your ID. So the police officer pulled out his ID with his ID card and his badge, pronounced his name. I'm Sergeant such and such and such, such and such and such. Now let me see your ID. Black dude was like, I don't have no ID. I ain't got to show you no ID. I haven't committed a crime, this, that, and the third. The police officer then was like, you are committing a crime. I'm a police officer. I asked you for your identification. I asked you to identify yourself, and you're not identifying yourself. Slim continues to say, I don't have to show you my ID. I ain't committed a crime, this, that, and the third, whatever. So they asked him to get out the car. Pull him out the car. The video falls on the ground. You can hear that they tussling a little bit. Then the video cuts off. So my whole thing is this. And I think that it's to this point now because I have had my interactions with the police, and I've had some very, 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 very bad interactions with the police, and some of my interactions with the police, now that I think about it, were 9 times out of 10 my fault. I mean, the way they resulted, you know what I mean? And with the way we've seen things end up between interactions between black men and white police officers, and I'm just gonna say white police officers. I mean, I don't understand why, if we want to have a decent interaction with the police, if a police officer in that situation just walks up on your car, say, hey, what's going on, man? I'm just monitoring the complex. I'm a police officer contracted to, secure the property. Just want to make sure everything good. Do you live on the property? Yeah, I live on the property. Oh, okay. What unit do you live in? Oh, I live in 4310 apartment 4B. Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Oh, by the way, you got any ID just to back up that you live on the property? Oh yeah, hold on, officer. Let me give me a second. All right, look at the ID. Oh, okay. 410 4B. All right. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. And he step off. Not in this case. So we are so consumed with, this fuck the police mentality that it just seemed like every interaction that we had with the police, it got to be a whole bunch of back and forth. And I mean, I'm one to tell you that I don't want the police talking to me disrespectful. I don't want the police talking to me crazy. And I don't. But I want to have the least amount of contact with a police officer when I'm dealing with them. So if a police officer in that situation walked up on me like that, I'ma slide Slim my ID, keep working on my car. He can check whatever he gonna check, keep it moving. Done. Ain't no get out the car, ain't no additional backup, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. My day go on, I put my speaker in my car, I finish, I'm done. I go to the grocery store, I go in the house and beat my girl up, whatever. And when I say beat her up, I don't mean beat her up physically. Fellas, y'all know what I mean, right? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just don't understand, why we feel like we gotta fight every situation with the police. Now, if the police would have walked up, man, what the fuck you doing, man? Let me see your motherfucking ID, aggressive or, like that. Now I can see, from a respect standpoint, wanting to stand your ground in that aspect. But we want to keep talking about why the police fucking with us and why the police, get out of pocket, call back up and all that shit. Why we can't just, I don't want to use the word comply because that's they fucking word, but why we can't just be easy, and if ain't shit going on, if the motherfucking police officer asks you some basic questions, do you live here? What unit you live in? That nigga ain't trying to get in your business. He just trying to make sure you live on the property. That's it. And then in the video, the officer ended up saying, well, you're loitering. And then he even gave the black dude the opportunity. He was like, well, you're loitering. Look it up. Google it real quick so you can see what the definition is. You're loitering. Because at this point, he's already asking for his ID. He don't want to get an officer his ID. He don't want to tell the officer where he live at on the property. So in the officer's mind, all right, you loitering. You got to roll out. I need to see some ID. So, I mean, I just feel like at the end of the day, I'm not advocating, police brutality. I'm not advocating police harassment. I'm not advocating none of that shit. But I just feel like at the end of the day, how do we change the narrative with our interactions with the police? All police ain't fucked up. All police ain't fucked up. And majority of them just want to do their job and go the fuck home. That's it and that's all, man. Majority of these police, man, be on some chill shit and just want to go home, man. I mean, most of the police officers that I know personally, and most of them that I have interacted with in, the last, couple years, on some chill shit. You know what I'm saying? They pull you over, they just want to do the basic check, and then you gone. Unless, you got an infraction on your license, or you don't have no insurance, or, something like that. I mean, I remember one time, not too long ago, I was in the car with my man, and his insurance lapsed when he gave the police officer his card. And the police officer was like, man, look like your insurance lapsed, man. So he was like, oh, damn, it did. So he was like, let me call my agent real quick. So he got on the phone, called his agent. It was like, yeah, it just looked like the automatic payment didn't go through. Let's see if we can fix it real quick. He was like, yeah, because I got the police officer right here. He pulled me over saying I ain't got no insurance. She was like, all right, let me take care of it. I mean, so within 5 minutes, it was taken care of. Officer was like, all right, man, y'all be safe, be easy. And we rolled out. And it was a white police officer. And then it's like, sometimes with the black police officers, I always hear, people always talking about, black police officers trying, go hard and, act tough and all this. I mean, I know a couple black police officers, man, that's like me and you, man. They get off work, they want to have a drink, they want to chill, they want to talk shit, they want, talk sports about whoever their sports team is. I mean, they regular people like us, man. And I mean, think about it. I mean, if the roles was reversed and we were police officers and they weren't, and we was approaching them and they gave us all them whoop tickets and, all this mouth, what the fuck would we do as police officers? We want, man, shut the fuck up. Man, let me see your ID. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not advocating, police brutality, police harassing people. I'm not advocating none of that. What I'm saying is, how do we change the narrative on our interactions with the police? If they just basically doing their job, I mean, our gut can tell us if the police on some shaky shit. And it's like nowadays, everybody records the interaction with the police, and they don't care about that shit no more. Clearly, they don't care about us recording them no more. I mean, because they got body cameras now. They getting recorded too. And clearly when they get recorded, we've seen the police get off. I mean, I just posted a video yesterday about the guy in I think it was Minneapolis. I always pronounce that wrong. Minneapolis, whatever it is. And the dude had a gun. And when the police rolled up on him, he fit the description. I remember them saying over the radio on dispatch, he got a gin bottle. And they was like, oh, damn, that's pretty descriptive. And when they turned the corner, they was like, that looks like the guy right there. And they saw the gin bottle. They was like, oh, shit, that's him. And when they pulled up on Slim dotted. He jetted. They was like, oh, and he got a gun. So he had the gun on him, but Slim was running the whole time. And in the video, it's hard to see whether he reached for the gun while he was running or not. But in my mind, if I'm running and I know the police right behind me, I don't think I'm reaching for the gun right then and there. I think I'm going to try to outrun his ass. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to ditch the gun so he can't see me ditch the motherfucker. And then I might stop, a ways, down and let him check me, do whatever he going to do. Or I'm going to just outrun his ass and get the fuck up out of Dodge. Period. I mean, because it's clear that they already saw the gun. So what I'm saying is, I just feel like we got to change the narrative, man. We don't have to fight each fucking situation, man. That situation with Slim could have went totally different, man. He could have just told the police officer where he lived. If the police officer was okay with that answer, the situation would have been done and over with. But no, we got had this, I don't know if you a real police. And again, in that situation, I do feel like the police officer could have did what the backup sergeant did by pulling out his ID and just showing him his ID and his badge. He didn't do that. But that's neither here nor there, because I feel like at the end of the day, whether you question whether he a police officer or not, the police officer in that case should have produced an ID so he could have saw that he was a police officer, you know what I mean? And that would have been, sufficing for that situation. But I just feel like regardless of the situation, man, we got to get out of this, this mentality that, we don't have to, I don't want to use that word, but comply with authority, man. Like, I mean, they just trying to do their job, man. And all police ain't fucked up, man. And I got a associate that sent me some stats that I got to read today. And it was basically saying that black men are in the least amount of criminal activity with the police. The least. So basically, it was basically saying that the interaction with black men with the police being killed or being whatever are less than what we think. And I mean, I'm almost certain that the media hypes it up and just shows us the few instances that happen. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure that the media, always gonna twist shit up and show us, the rare moments of this shit happening, and that this shit not happening all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Because I drive every day, back and forth to work. Sometimes it's police officers behind my car, and I'm pretty sure, I got a Cadillac, tinted windows. I'm pretty sure while they behind me, they running my plates, but they don't pull me over. Why? Because I ain't got no warrants. I got insurance, and my registration is tight. Registration is tight, so I'm like, Devin, get the fuck on, bitch. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, I just feel like, every interaction with the police, don't have to be all crazy and shit, man. I mean, I might not be saying everything correct. I might not be speaking, articulating everything, properly. But what I'm saying is, I mean, that's a baby seat. That's my daughter's seat. That's Princess Gianna's seat. And I just feel like for me, I'm not going to, listen, if the police pull me over right now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Mr. Williams, I'm pulling you over for such and such. I'm officer such and such. Oh, okay, what's going on? Is it okay if I see your ID and your registration? Oh, yeah, here you go. Okay, Mr. Williams, I just wanted to, whatever. All right, okay, have a nice day. All right, bet. And I'm on my way. I ain't getting pulled out my motherfucking car. I ain't, wrestling with the police, possibly getting shot, possibly getting killed, not being able to see my daughter again. I'm not going to change that, man. I'm not going to change that. And I mean, I don't even care if you ain't got kids. You it's not that serious. It's not that serious, man. We don't have to make every police interaction a fucked up one, man. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And everybody keeps saying, how do we change this? How do we change that? We can start one by one, individually, and just stop with the bullshit. It ain't got to be a fucked up interaction every time, man. It just don't have to be. I mean, if you fucked up, if you got a warrant, if you got, whatever, be smart. Stay the fuck out the view of the police. Simple. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't have a warrant and not be able to, work on your car outside in the complex. But nigga, if you got a warrant and you out in the complex working on your car and the police walk up on you, ask you for your ID, nigga, you just shit out of luck. And then you gonna get a police officer all this back and forth, and you got a warrant? Come on, man. I'm just saying we gotta be smarter about what we doing, man. That's all I'm saying, man. And every motherfucking battle with the police ain't worth fighting, man. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. So my message for this morning is, man, we gotta change the narrative, man. We got to, man. We gotta change the narrative, Joe. We just got to, man. Man, y'all be easy, man.